for me, it's not why we are entering in the social business, but more how we enter in the social business. And as usual, it's could be a very long story, but if you want to have the long story, you read the book of Muhammad Yunus. Like this, I answer to the second part of your question. I have a lunch with Muhammad. I discuss with him and I explain to him a strategy we have within our company based on our mission, which is to bring health through food, which is very classic, to the maximum number of people. And I explained that to Muhammad. And he explained to me the Grameen Bank. And he was talking about Bangladesh. And during the explanation, he told me one of the specificity of the Grameen Bank is that we didn't sign paper or contract. We shake hand. So I stand up and I do like this. And he look at me and he do the same and we shake hand. And we sat down and he told me, why do we shake hand? And I told him, you just explained to me the Grameen Bank, the social business. I just explained to you I need a new model to reach the bottom of the pyramid. These people living with €2 per day. And you just explained no contract, we shake hand. So I shake your hand, that's all. And it's a true story. That's the way we start. So we didn't decide to do social business or to leverage social business. We don't have that within our vision or our strategy. It's just a lunch between two people. So we start like this. After that, because of what we are doing, we decide to create this Danone community vehicle, which is very important for us. And let's go. We start. And doing this, I'm sure we learn, I'm sure we deliver, and I'm sure we are creating a model which is going to help us to reach the target, which is to the maximum number of people. So it's a connecting story, nothing else. The funny thing, it's always stories, but the funny thing is our first reflex was to propose to Muhammad Yunus fighting against malnutrition, which is the base of our, let's say, the global idea of our health issues. If you want to reach the bottom of the pyramid, you need to transform totally your mindset because you need to make money, social business or not, you need to make money to reinvest, to pay the people, to develop innovation. The real question for us was how to measure the health impact. And we don't want to measure by ourselves. We need the right method. And at this time, I'm no more, but at this time I was on the board of an NGO called GAIN, about global nutrition, with the Melinda Gates behind. So I asked them to help us to, first of all, produce with a US university a methodology to measure the impact of our product. We have even to invent a new way of distribution. Basically, we learn in every sector, and that's everybody entering the social business must have in mind. You will transfer all the steps of the business. For example, distribution. But Danone is a company which is driven since 1970 with a very specific concept called, let's say in English, the dual project, means social and economics. And the most important word is not social or economics. The most is the smallest one, and. It's not a social and human concept. It's not an economic and financial concept. It's a social and economics. For example, we must be the most efficient company. So we have to deliver productivity. If I have to close a factory, it's very sad, but I have to do it. But I have also to respect the people. I make them suffering because of my strategic decision. So I have to take care of them. Means we are totally convinced that we can't have economic result not also improving the social impact of our company, and vice versa. If you trust in that, why we will not do something in social business. Especially the young people you met in the university. They are all dreaming perhaps not about social business, but they are really nice. They want to impact the world correctly, positively. By doing what we are doing in Bangladesh, we attract a lot of young people. And that's the reason why we have also to explain to them that it's business. Very often people are making a confusion between poverty solved by charity. And the reason why, to come back to the first question about why social business, because it's a business. So it's sustainable. Charity is not sustainable. Charity is, I decide to give my money, but I will pass away one day, I'm sure, like everybody. That will continue or not. If you are really succeeding in social business, you have a P&L, you have a balance sheet, you are making profit. You just decide what you want to do with the profit. But it means that it's not just because you or me. It's like a company. So at the end of the day, it's sustainable because you are making profit. And when you try to replicate basically what you learn in a classic business within a social business, you fail. It's a process of reinventing everything. And the difficulty is you have to reinvent, but at the end of the day, you see that in terms of tools, you don't have the right tools, especially when you are in Bangladesh. The way to understand what do you have to do is totally different. So you need a total different brain. The worst for me is to ask people thinking about saving the world and making charity. They are not the right one. You need business guy. You need business guy thinking business, but having another brain. So that's the main difficulty. After that, everything we planned was wrong, basically, everything. That's the reason why it's not. You need to be patient. It's a long story, long story. If I want to summarize, it's not because you are selling at the affordable price that you will have a success. In terms of marketing, for example, you will have to deal with the same mixed marketing. The packaging, the brand, the awareness, the advertising. Obviously but the advertising will be not a commercial in the television. You don't have the money. So advertising will mean something else. Could be a drawing by children you put on the tree in the village. That's what I mean by reinvent everything. But the way to execute must be totally different. So you must know about the classic process, but you must be very creative and very entrepreneur to really deliver what you expect. Be patient. If we want to accelerate, if we want to expand, as I said, it's not a single guy who is going to change the world. It will be the addition of, or the accumulation of many success everywhere. We start with Bangladesh. We create Danone communities. We have now 4, 5, 6, 8 projects in Cambodia, in Senegal, like 1001 fontaine in Cambodia for water. Mm-hmm. It's always based on nutrition and this and something like this. But even ourselves, we convince ourselves by the success, or perhaps we start to see the success. So for me, it's very key that if we want to increase, we have to avoid to make this fashionable, and it's a real business. It's a real different business. So we must illustrate and show to the rest of the world that it's working and it's bringing solution. Could be, as for us, a nutrition impact, could be employment or to fight against unemployment, could be to help people not finding people, having no education to find a job. You have many issues you can solve. So we need, I think, and at the end we need people like Mohamed Yunus, because in every sector you need an ambassador. And I am not an ambassador. I'm the chairman and CEO of big corporation, multinational. So for me, that's the vision I have. It's too early to. It's not it's not done to save the world. It's really, we can do this, we can do that. And after, if a lot of people are doing this, perhaps that will cover the world. I don't know. Again, we have to dream.